It's time to wrap a warm scarf, grab your paintbrushes, and join me as I paint an adorable snowman that won't melt under the Saturday spotlight. Welcome to Conversations with Canvas, where I review art books, art supplies, and share painting demos, providing you your daily dose of art. The second prompt for the December challenge is Icy Embrace, and today's star is this charming snowman. Last week, for Cozy Comforts, I painted the gingerbread man having a spa day. Do check out that demo on my channel. For this demo, I'm using a limited palette of 3 primaries and titanium white. But before I dive into painting, I always like to prime and tone the surface. I'm mixing clear gesso and neon orange to prep this surface. Now, the step is completely optional, but I prefer to prep the surface as it reduces the absorbency of the paper and the acrylics will stay wet on the paper for a longer time, which makes blending very easy. And if you're wondering why orange as a base color, it's because the snowman and the background are all going to be cool colors. So this mid-tone orange will add warmth into the painting. If you're curious to know how different base colors can actually make your paintings pop or mellow them down, do watch my demo, Toning Secrets Revealed. The link of it will be shared in my description. As the underlayer is drying, I'll introduce you to my Save It All or a money saver jar. We all know that acrylic paints, once out of their tubes, they dry out and they get wasted. So once I complete my paintings, I mix all the paints which are left on the palette to form a neutral mix and store it in a small jar. This neutral mix is quite handy for value studies and sketching the outlines of the subject. You could also use a stay wet palette or store paints in individual jars. As I'm sketching and trying to make the perfect snowman, I just remembered how as a kid we used to draw the snowman. Do you remember it? It was 2 circles, stick arms, a tall wonky hat, and of course the unmissable carrot nose. A childhood classic for sure. And honestly, I would like my sketches to have that same childhood spirit in them. Loose, with simple shapes, zero pressure, bit of imperfections here and there, a touch of wobbliness to give it some character, and just have fun while sketching. Also, if at this stage if I mess it up, it's no big deal because I have plenty of time later on to fix it and refine it when I'm adding colors. And that's what the next step is about. That is building this snowman with paint. I also call it my playtime because just like how in sketching I didn't stress much about perfection, here I do not stress much about mixing the perfect colors. In fact, at this stage all I aim to do is lay down the colors as fast as I can and keep it matching with their values. So the main focus over here for me is to lay down the darks and the lights. When I'm mixing colors for the darker values, I do not use black. In fact, you saw that in my limited palette there was no black. So I mix in the darker colors by mixing the blues with either the neutral mix that I have or I mix it with red and a bit of yellow to neutralize it or desaturate or darken it. Now this is something just like a personal preference or a personal choice that I avoid using black because I find it pretty dull. But if you feel that you need to use black, you can always use black. The other options are you could use a neutral color like a burnt umber or a Payne's grey and you mix it with your colors to darken them. Even dioxazine violet or purple is a great color to mix in the darker colors. The same goes for the greys. I do not buy grey tubes. In fact, I prefer mixing my greys as warm or cool greys using the 3 primaries and my neutral mix. As you can see, that neutral mix is a kind of a savior for quite a few things. I use them for sketching, value studies, and even neutralizing my paints. I know you must be feeling that at this stage, the snowman looks a little muddy and kind of dull. I feel it the same way. And I'm really tempted at this stage to reach out for some pure white, but I'm not going to do that and I'm just going to be trusting this process and wait till I lay down all the colors. The block-in stage is not about mixing the perfect color. In fact, it is covering the entire surface with color. Here my goal is just to add color with a lot of energetic brushwork. The color corrections will definitely come in later when I can compare how these colors are playing with each other. You can see that I have switched the background color from a dull white to a bold blue. This change is not just a change in color, but it is also a change in the value. And I think every artist can take these liberties and conduct these modifications if you feel your painting needs more contrast or more variety. The spiced up blue background not only adds contrast in the painting, but it is also perfect to balance the warm orange undertone. Also, it kind of magically just made the grays on the snowman look more whiter and brighter. So, it's all about relativity. The colors don't exist in isolation in a painting, they interact and play with each other and therefore influence each other. The color blocking is now complete, and it's now time to step back and analyze and refine the painting. It's time to ask those vital questions. Are the values looking fine? Do the edges need to be softened? Is the play of light and shadows in good contrast? Are the highlights popping? And what are the details that I'll need to add to make it feel complete? Again, refining is not about making it perfect. It's about knowing when to stop and not go overboard. I'm adding choppy strokes of the blue background color because I felt that there was too much of the orange undertone peeking through. So for the details, I'm not going to go overboard. I'm just going to be adding dabs of colors for the eyes, mouth and buttons, and definitely some white splatter for that snowfall magic. Thanks for hanging out with me while I painted my frosty friend. Next week, I'll be painting the prompt Festive Fun, and this shiny red bauble is going to be perfect for it. It is also going to be a great opportunity to play with reflections and to paint metal. And that, my artsy pals, is my version for the Icy Embrace prompt. Do try out the techniques we explored today and splatter the comment section with your favorite winter art moments. And if you love art challenges, do hop over to my Instagram page. Until next time, take care and let your creativity snowball into something amazing. See you soon on Conversations with Canvas. Bye.